Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Phyllis Summers has proven herself to be a strong and determined woman, especially when justice and family are at stake. From the latest details revealed, the character Phyllis, played by Michelle Stafford, continues to draw viewers into a dramatic journey of justice, in which Sharon Newman becomes the focus of suspicion and conflict. Phyllis and the hunt for justice. Phyllis is not only a character who stands out for her intelligence and strength, but also for her instinct to protect her family like a lioness. In this story, Phyllis is determined to make Sharon pay, not only for the damage she believes Sharon has caused, but also for the past wounds between the two women that have not yet healed. Phyllis is trying to cope with the pain of losing Heather, someone she cares about very much. While there are now signs that Sharon may be innocent, Phyllis doesn't know the whole story. This makes her even more suspicious and stubborn in pursuing what she believes is right. Real-life influences. In an interview with SOD, Michelle Stafford shared a powerful personal story that served as the basis for how she developed Phyllis' character in recent episodes. Stafford revealed that a friend of hers faced tragedy when her son was killed by a drunk driver. The perpetrator, despite having a long history of drunk driving and multiple arrests, tried to cover up the crime with the help of friends. Stafford admitted that it was these heartbreaking real-life stories that helped her better understand Phyllis' sense of loss and desire for justice. When someone loses a loved one, that strong emotion can turn into an intense obsession with punishment and consequences for the perpetrator. Phyllis's internal conflict. While Phyllis may believe she is on the right path, her unwavering determination also reflects another side of her character, stubbornness and obsession. The story becomes more complicated when viewers learn that Sharon was not directly responsible for Heather's death. But for Phyllis, that may not be enough to change how she views Sharon. Michelle Stafford shares that even when the truth is revealed, Phyllis may never forgive Sharon, especially since Sharon disposed of Heather's body and tried to blame it on Phyllis' son, Daniel. This incident not only hurt Phyllis, but also hit her motherly instincts, making her more determined than ever. Sharon and Phyllis' complicated relationship. The relationship between Sharon and Phyllis has always been one of the most intense and unpredictable storylines on The Young and the Restless. From past conflicts to present, the two women are not only rivals but also sharp reflections of deep pain and trauma. Phyllis sees Sharon not only as a competitor but also as a threat to her family. This makes it difficult for Sharon's excuses, no matter how reasonable, to change Phyllis' mind. Phyllis won't care, given the history between Sharon and her, Stafford says. This further highlights Phyllis' stubborn nature and fierce protectiveness of her family. Can justice heal? Phyllis' fight for justice is not just a story about finding the truth, but also her personal journey to come to terms with her pain and loss. But the bigger question the show raises is, can justice truly heal the wounds Phyllis is suffering? Or is her obsession with Sharon's guilt only driving her deeper into the darkness of revenge? Phyllis may need to learn to let go, not to forgive Sharon, but to find peace in her own soul. But with her strong and sometimes stubborn personality, the journey promises to be tumultuous. The price of hate. The new episodes of The Young and the Restless not only bring compelling conflict and tension, but also raise profound questions about justice, revenge and forgiveness. The character of Phyllis Summers represents a perspective on how people face tragedy and seek justice, sometimes against reason. This story is not just about the conflict between Sharon and Phyllis, but also a complex picture of the human psyche when pushed to the worst possible conditions. Can Phyllis find the truth? And will the truth really help her find peace? As Phyllis' fight continues, the audience will witness an emotional journey where justice is not only the ultimate goal, but also a lesson in acceptance and letting go. Complex relationships, mounting tension and gripping stories. Among them, Phyllis Summers, a strong and sometimes stubborn character, continues to captivate viewers with her journey to seek justice for Heather. However, Phyllis's story does not stop there. It is a comprehensive picture of hatred, maternal love and the limits that people are willing to overcome when hurt. Phyllis Summers, a fierce mother. Phyllis Summers has long been known as a character who does not give up easily. The intense love she has for her family, especially her children, is the main driving force behind all her decisions. She does not hesitate to confront anyone, regardless of the danger, if it helps protect the people she loves. In this case, Heather's loss is not only a painful shock but also awakens in her a strong obsession with justice. From the information Phyllis has, Sharon Newman becomes the focus of suspicion. Phyllis believes that Sharon is not only involved in Heather's death but also intentionally disposed of the body and blamed it on Daniel, her son. This not only makes her heartbroken but also triggers her maternal instincts, making Phyllis more fierce than ever. Michelle Stafford, the actress who plays Phyllis, once shared that this character is like a lioness, always ready to rush into any battle to protect her cubs. Real-life tragedy relives emotions. In an interview, Michelle Stafford revealed that she was inspired by a real-life tragedy to bring to the role. The story of a friend of hers, whose son was killed by a hit-and-run driver, had a strong impact on her. That driver not only had a history of drunk driving but also tried to cover up his crime. This story is not only a mirror of injustice but also highlights the feeling of helplessness when the justice system cannot provide satisfactory answers. It is from this real story that Stafford brings emotional depth to the character of Phyllis. When losing a loved one, there is nothing more painful than not being able to find justice. For Phyllis, this pain is even greater when she not only loses Heather but also has to face the fact that Daniel is caught in a spiral of accusations. Sharon Newman, victim or villain? In Phyllis' fight for justice, Sharon Newman becomes the center of all suspicion. Not only is Sharon accused by Phyllis of being involved in Heather's death, but she is also seen as the one who deliberately set up a plan to blame Daniel. But is Sharon truly guilty, or is she just a victim of circumstances beyond her control? This question is not easy to answer, especially since Sharon and Phyllis' past is full of conflict and contradiction. Sharon has made Phyllis feel betrayed, and Phyllis has not always been a fair player. The complicated relationship between the two women pushes Phyllis' fight for justice beyond the limits of reason, turning it into a personal confrontation. Phyllis's internal conflict. Although Phyllis believes she is on the side of justice, there is no denying that she is strongly influenced by emotions. The pain of loss and hatred has caused her to see everything through a biased lens. For Phyllis, Sharon is not just a suspect but also the embodiment of all the suffering she has endured. Michelle Stafford admits that even if Sharon can prove her innocence, Phyllis may not forgive. This stems not only from Sharon's actions in this case, but also from the unhealed wounds from the past between the two. For Phyllis, justice is not just about finding the truth, but also a way to resolve the pain and hurt she has carried for so many years. Can justice bring healing? The big question this story raises is, can justice really bring healing? For Phyllis, this journey is not just about Sharon, but about her. It is about how she deals with the pain of loss, anger, and the feeling of helplessness at not being able to protect her loved ones. However, the truth is often more complicated than we expect. While Sharon may be innocent, that doesn't mean Phyllis will let go easily. Human emotions sometimes defy logic, and for Phyllis, finding the real culprit may not be enough to ease the pain she has endured. Motherhood and the price of hate. Phyllis Summers' story is not just about the quest for justice, but also about motherhood and the price of hate. As a mother, Phyllis is willing to do anything to protect her child, even if it means confronting the world. But hate, if left unchecked, can become a double-edged sword that can destroy the person holding it. Subscribe to Yonder for more updates.